Hello and welcome. This is In the News with Keith Lander. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for sharing. This is a show we focus on national news, local news, and everything else in between. And of course, you'll get a colorful commentary by me at the end. So you may want to stick around. It's going to be exciting, entertaining commentary. I can guarantee that. So let's cover some local news first. Local news. We in Dayton, Ohio. That's where we are. And the local news out of Dayton Daily News states that the grocery store, part of new Home Full development in West Dayton. And the groundbreaking ceremony will be held March the 30th on a 16-acre, $50 million development on Gettysburg Avenue. That's right, folks, $50 million development on Gettysburg Avenue. Construction and the development will include a new grocery store, healthcare opportunities, housing, and jobs will begin later this month. Home Full announced Tuesday that they'll host a groundbreaking on the $50 million development at 807 South Gettysburg Road. And the community can come out and celebrate that if you watch this thing before that date happens. Phase 1 will include a construction of a 48,000 square foot two-story building on 6 acres that will include the grocery store and the marketplace, according to the nonprofit. The first floor will have 12,000 square feet of market space with fresh foods and groceries, with household items, dairies, meats and vegetables, and a deli. In addition, a regional wholesale food hub will be on site for locally grown produce and produce to be collected and then sold by the buyers in the region. And here's a quote by the Tina Patterson. She's the CEO of Home Full. She said, "We are incredibly excited about our grocery store and the healthy food choices that will soon become available to the residents." So, you know, that's a good thing. And of course, the second phase will come in, and that will be a $6,000 square foot piece of building. So, Home Full, I appreciate you coming in, setting up a grocery store in West Dayton, because it's been considered a food desert, and we need more opportunities and more places we can get fresh food and that kind of thing. It's most appreciated. So Home Full, my hat's off to you. West Dayton, we're coming alive, folks. The city of Dayton, I'm gonna tell you something. If you live outside the city of Dayton, Ohio, and you haven't been to the city of Dayton in a long time, that's Dayton, Ohio, I suggest you take a look. You know, we got good neighborhoods. We got neighborhoods that are thriving. We got areas like Wright Dunbar. We got areas like what the Home Full is doing. Hey, if you're looking for a place to set up business, looking for a place to call home, check out Dayton, Ohio. You know what I mean? Good place. We got the Mayor Jeffrey Mims, who's doing a fabulous job. The city commissioners are doing what they can. Hey, Dayton is on the move, folks. Dayton, Ohio. Put that on your map and come on out and see us. All right. Also in Dayton, Dayton Manufacturing breaks ground on a building that's going to add 100 plus new jobs. It says Norwood Medical has grown by leaps and bounds. It says over the decades, the group Norwood Medical in Dayton has been consistent with these groundbreakings. And this groundbreaking, they'll have a 72,000 square foot building, and it'll house more than 100 new workers will be employed. And so, folks, if you're looking for a job, this building will be located at 2017 Webster Street. The new building represents the company's 8th major expansion in 15 years. So Norwood Medical ain't playing around, folks. They buying land, they setting up shop, and they see the benefits of staying right here in Dayton, Ohio. Y'all better come on out here and get some of these pieces of land and get some of this good stuff we got going on here in Dayton, Ohio. So, congratulations, Norwood Medical. On the national scene, if you've seen the cartoon Dilbert, and that creator is by Scott Adams. Well, Scott Adams is a racist, and I'll prove it. Scott Adams. It says Dilbert creator Scott Adams was a comic strip star. After racist comments, he says he lost 80% of his income. Adams, who is white, is facing serious repercussions following recent comments he made on a YouTube that were widely denounced as racist, hateful, and discriminatory.
But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. Normally you see a poll, you just look at it and you go, whatever. Oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. Right? This can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where I have a very low black population, because unfortunately there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying. Now we should be friendly. Like I'm not saying start a war or do anything bad. Nothing like that. I'm just saying get away. Just get away.
Newspapers such as the Los Angeles Times, USA Today Network will stop distributing the Dilbert cartoon, and rightfully so. And there's a bunch of other newspapers who got rid of that Dilbert cartoon. Also, he had a book that was going to be published by Random House, and they said they won't publish his book. That's Scott Adams. They won't publish his book, and rightfully so, folks. Also, the Dayton Daily News, which carried the comic strip, also said that they will not carry the comic strip anymore due to the racist comments made by the creator Scott Adams. So, folks, this is the way you handle racism. All right, when racists raise their ugly head, then you do what's necessary. Racism is bad for business, folks. No business want to be connected to racism and discriminatory statements. You got it? See, we don't have to protest. We don't have to holler. We don't have to do none of all that stuff. When a racist raises his head, that's all we have to do is contact who's doing business with him, right? And I guarantee you, see them businesses, they don't see black, they don't see white. You know what they see? Green. And if there's anything to affect their bottom line, which is money, they will get rid of that person, right? So hats off to all those newspapers and outlets that canceled that Dilbert and Scott Adams, you know what I mean? Because he's a racist. I don't care what he say. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. As they say, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. It's out now. We know what you are. So let's move on. Let's talk about another fool. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is the representative out of Georgia. She made some statements, and I have to correct the record. It says during a March 3rd speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference, that's an APAC nonsense, U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene stated that the Ukraine President Zelensky stated that
Zelensky saying he wants our sons and daughters to go die in Ukraine.
That's what she said, but that's not what the man said. All right. Now this is PolitiFact. PolitiFact found no evidence Zelensky said this. It states, now here's what the man said. All right, and I'll find it here in a minute. Here it is. Zelensky expressed his gratitude, said that the United States could lose its world leadership position if they stop supporting Ukraine. He also cautioned that the reduced support for Ukraine could risk of a global conflict. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. All right. Now, the bottom line, see, Ukraine borders on 4 NATO members: Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, and Romania. Now, what happens, folks, if Russia takes that land over Ukraine, just takes over that whole country, Russia wants to spread and take over more countries like Poland, like Hungary, Romania. Now, those are NATO members. We're NATO members. So if Russia starts to invade these countries, guess what, folks? The United States signed agreements to go and help fight with these countries. We didn't sign an agreement to go help with Ukraine because they're not in NATO. And so Russia has to be stopped from taking over Ukraine because they're not going to stop with Ukraine. Vladimir Putin is crazy. Anybody who says any good things about Vladimir Putin is crazy and stupid because this man is a dictator. He's ruthless. He done killed innocent people, men, women, and children. You know what I mean? And this Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's chumming up to Vladimir Putin and the rest of those clowns in the conservative tank who are chumming up to Vladimir Putin, they're doing a disservice to America. That's the most un-American thing you can do, all right? So let's not mix any words. Marjorie Taylor Greene was wrong. The president of Ukraine did not say he wanted Americans to fight and die in Ukraine. That's not what he said. So I just want to clarify that. Okay, folks, here we go. The Tennessee governor appears to have dressed in drag as an art form he wants to restrict. That's the headline. All right. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee confirmed Monday that he would sign a bill criminalizing drag performances in public and in front of children. And then a photo came out of him in drag when he was in high school. So, look, folks, these people, they done lost their mind. I got more to say about that in a minute. They call this thing the Adult Cabaret Bill is what they call it. He said, legislation is needed to protect the children from exposure to inappropriate entertainment. That's what the governor says. Protect the children. Let me ask y'all something. When those kids got gunned down in Sandy Hook and these other places of schools, and there was a cry for stronger and stricter gun piece of legislation to try to protect the kids, what did these Republicans do? Nothing. They didn't protect the kids then, didn't they? They didn't give a damn about the kids. You know what I mean? So let's stop playing with trying to say these Republicans about protecting the kids. You don't want to protect the kids. If you was going to protect the kids, you would have had stricter, stronger gun measures to protect these kids from getting shot in school, right? So y'all up there playing games. Let's stop playing games with this nonsense. You know what I mean? And the bottom line is, like I said before, why are you messing with the LGBTQ community? Why are you messing with them people? Them people ain't bothering nobody. They going along with their business. A drag show is entertainment, folks. It's entertainment. Now, whether you want your kids to look at it, that's on you. You know what I mean? Now, the bottom line It's not only that, but a wave of Republican lawmakers has introduced 26 bills aimed at restricting drag events in 14 states in 2023. I don't know what these people are thinking, but let me tell you this. You know what I mean? Before I get to my other thing about people dressing in drag. So we had a slew of movies, and you can go look at them from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You can go even in Norbit. There were some folks in drag. You can look at Mrs. Doubtfire. Y'all remember that movie? I know y'all remember that. The Pink Flamingos. You remember the Wayans brothers and White Chicks? They dressed in drag. You remember Geronimo Man, the guy who played on the women's basketball thing? Y'all remember all that stuff, don't you? That was in drag. Remember the Crying Game? Y'all remember that, don't you? Paris is Burning. I'm pretty sure y'all seen that too. What I'm saying is, folks, we had a whole slew of movies. Silence of the Lamb. They had folks dressed in drag. Whole slew of movies going back to probably the 60s. Didn't affect the kids. I ain't seen nothing where it affected the kids. Have you? So I don't know why these Republicans are so gun-ho on trying to, attack the LGBTQ community. You know, I always say it wrong. I just say the gay community. Y'all got to excuse me. I get the letters all mixed up. But y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean? Y'all understand that. I'm pretty sure you do. Just say that's O'Keefe got the letters all mixed up. You know, the gay community. Folk, the gay community ain't did nothing to me. They ain't did nothing to them other folks. So you know what I mean? So here's the bottom line. You know, there's 7 deadly sins. And these 7 deadly sins come out of that book these Bible thumpers thumping around with. Now, let me list them. Lust, gluttony, greed, laziness, wrath, envy, and pride. Now, let me ask yourself, out of those 7, which one fits you? Because I guarantee you there's one of these 7s you guilty of. And so if you guilty of one of the 7 sins, why are you pointing the finger at somebody else? And you just as guilty. You should have a finger pointed right back at you. You know what I mean? Because lust, oh, Lord have mercy. Gluttony, oh, Lord have mercy. And especially greed. Y'all folks out there so damn greedy. Y'all trying to get all you can. And don't talk about laziness and pride, envy. Come on, y'all. Now, let me tell you something about the Republican Party. The Republican Party, when they was out running for re-election, when was that, last year before last year, all right? This is what the Republican Party said they would do. When they said, well, when we get control of government, we're going to lower inflation. Have you seen a bill or anything out of the Republican Party that deal with inflation? Not yet. How about lowering gas prices? They said they was going to do that too. You seen a bill help to lower gas prices from the Republican Party? I ain't seen no one either. How about lowering the budget deficit? Have you seen a proposal or a bill from any Republican talking about lowering the budget deficit? You haven't seen it? I haven't either. How about they say fixing the economy, whatever the hell that means? Well, have you seen them talk about anything about the economy? You know why? Because the economy going pretty good. It's going pretty good. How about the jobs? They say they're going to bring all these jobs. Employment is at a 50-year low. Unemployment is at a 50-year low. And they talking about they're going to bring some more jobs. There's over 10 million job vacancy here in the United States. Republican Party didn't do anything to create all that. You ain't seen one job bill, have you? Let's move on. The only thing these people have basically been talking about, the Republican Party, they ain't talking about all this stuff they said they're going to run for re-election about. You know what they talking about? They talking about Hunter Biden's laptop. That was a story that came out in some publication that was riddled with errors. That's been proven. And they talking about drag shows. They love to talk about drag shows. Well, I don't know what they got against drag shows. I don't know if they just put out a drag show or what. You know what I mean? But they got angry for a drag show. Boy, they don't like them drag shows. I guess, I don't know. I guess they wanted to participate and they couldn't participate, so now they're mad and they're going to try to cancel them all. A drag show ain't the problem, folks. You know what the problem is? Ignorance and responsible places like the government. And when I say ignorance, I'm talking about the Marjorie Taylor Greens. I'm talking about these people who are just drunk on power. Look, folks, you can't govern. You can't govern just having a grievance or just being angry at people. That's not governing. And telling people off and getting snappy with people in these congressional hearings, you ain't proved nothing. What you prove? Where's the bills you support? Where's the bills you got to offer? Especially that Jim Jordan. You all seen him. And now they done sucked in Mike Turner to this nonsense. Mike Turner used to be a good man. I don't know what the hell happened to Mike Turner. Mike Turner used to be a good man. If you see it, show Mike Turner this video, because Mike Turner is my representative. But Mike Turner, he done turned. He just go with anything the Republican Party tell him to do. That's what he do, whether it's right or wrong. We ain't benefited from it. I'll give you a good example. Mike Turner was trying to get that pension restarted for those people at GM. He had a piece of proposal ready to go. When the Republican Party took office, Mike Turner ain't mentioned that since. They told Mike Turner, sit down. We ain't talking about that. We're going to try to protect Donald Trump. And that's all Mike Turner been talking about. He left them people high and dry because the leadership of the Republican Party told Mike Turner that they ain't talking about no pension for no folks at GM. And Mike Turner ain't brung it up since, has he? Prove me wrong. Send me the tape. Maybe I lost it. And let me talk about this woke stuff all these people talking about. Woke, especially that Governor DeSantis in Florida. Let me explain it to you this way. You better be woke. You better be paying attention. You better know what's happening. You better have your head on a swivel, because these people are drunk on power and they think they're right and they're wrong. And they playing this thing woke this, woke that. That's wrong. Being woke is a good thing, folks. Right? All y'all watching this video, all y'all are woke. You're paying attention, right? When you go to sleep, you don't know what the heck's happening until you hear a loud boom and you wake up and say, what the heck was that? Right? That's when you sleep. So these people trying to bring all this stuff, woke this and woke that, don't fall for that nonsense, folks. They can't explain this stuff. That's just a cover, because they have no policies that help the American people. The only thing they doing is just spitting in the wind. I told you what they said they was going to do. All this stuff, lower inflation, lower gas prices, lower the budget deficit, fix the economy and all that kind of thing, lower crime rate. Have you seen them put a proposal together to lower the crime rate? You haven't? I haven't neither, because they have none. The only thing they going off is this cultural stuff. The LGBTQ community. The woke stuff, the Biden laptop. I don't give a damn about Hunter Biden's laptop. What I care about Hunter Biden's laptop? I tell you what I did care about is when Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, signed a $2 billion deal with the Saudis, Saudi Arabia. I do care about when Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter, signed 15 contracts with the Chinese. 15 contracts with the Chinese, Ivanka Trump. So if y'all want to do some investigations, do some investigations in that. Do some investigation in the fact when Donald Trump had the Russian delegates in the White House in a room by himself with no American translator. No notes, no press. He was in that room, and we don't know what the heck Donald Trump told them Russians. Do an investigation on that. Do an investigation on Donald Trump, why he's kissing up to Vladimir Putin, because it's been alleged that he has money in loans from Russia. Do an investigation on that, Mike Turner. You want to talk crazy about the Hunter Biden's laptop? Do an investigation into Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. And the rest of them clowns, Manafort and all of them went to jail for Donald Trump. You know what I mean? So, I just want to bring that up, folks. They're playing games, and the people in the middle is the American people. When I say they, I'm talking about the leadership of the Republican Party. I will say this, there's one or two folks in the Republican Party who's in Congress that has some sense, but they are overshadowed by this foolishness. And if we're ever going to get this country back to where we have take over leadership from an adult an intellectual point of view, we have to start thinking. And matter of fact, you have to stay woke. Got it? So, I'm going to close with that, folks. Until next time, may God bless you and your family.